And welcome back. I'm going to have my mic muted for a first couple of minutes of this segment. I can finish up my lunch while we do this. A couple of scans here and work our way to the neutron star. So I'll be right back in just a couple of minutes.
Fuel treatment complete.
Okay, appreciate the patience. Let's continue on. I'm going to go scan this planet before we go too far because it is a rich, looks like rich metal. It'll definitely be, since it hasn't been discovered by anybody else yet, it'd be nice to have that extra little bonus. And it's not exactly going to take us a long time to get there. All right, that is, let's see. Lock that destination and let's get pointed at it. We are a couple of jumps away from the neutron star, as we discussed before the break. That'll be another neutron star. We are within 3,000 light years of Sol, so we have come more than halfway back. And as soon as we get back out of Super Cruise, we'll check and see how many jumps we have left for the trip back. Of course, scan as soon as we get in the system. 17 objects. Interesting. Okay, let's get our scooping going. Up to about 150-ish. Take, that's pretty close. All right. We have 69 jumps left. Nope, 59 jumps left. Sorry, 59. And there is a lot of nothing here. Somebody else has already gotten first discovery. So for us, it's just a fuel source. And next we go. Definitely very different not coming back the same path we took getting here. Or getting out to Eagle. And we're going to go more or less the same route back the other way. Hopefully hit some of the same neutron stars along the way. Next one we're going to is a, well, interesting. Okay, so, not a neutron. I mean, orange star. Probably orange yellow. Guess we'll find out when we get there. Yeah, it's going to be kind of a yellowish orange star. Very yellowish orange. Two objects, so it's probably a binary star system. Probably a red dwarf along with it. That's pretty common. Seems to be. Oh no, there's a little gas giant floating around it. And somebody else has already done the first discovery on it, so not worth our time. Scoop and go, scoop and go, scoop and go. You know, usually I would have music playing in the stream, but I'm just gonna enjoy the music in game. 'Cause it is beautiful music. Okay, we do have a neutron star coming up. So that should be happening in the next 2 or 3 jumps. Possibly 2 jumps. One new object. There's 2 objects in this system. Binary star system. And one of them's already been discovered. The other one's probably quite a distance away. Look at that. Yeah, 15,000, that's not too bad, but we're going to forego that because we still have 67 jumps. Yeah, so it was 69. That's not 59, sorry. 67 jumps left to go. Now, once I reconfigure my ship, it'll probably take a little bit, you know, a couple more jumps to go out because I'll probably lose a little of my jump range. But it's going to be worth it for the increased fuel scooping, and also to have a ship that's dedicated to it, to that purpose. The next jump is our neutron star. Let's do it. Scan the system. Scan the star. 4 new objects. Potentially high metal content, but it's already been discovered. Yeah, everything here has been already discovered. No big deal. Alright. It'd be nice to... It's nice just to have the data from the neutron star. Well, this is a very, very lazy neutron compared to some of the others. Still dangerous. Still very dangerous. Just where the blue and the purple kind of converge, or blue turns to purple, that's about where we're going to go in at. Right about there. It's just in the edge of the blue. Should put us in safe enough. Almost there. About 4 million meters per second as we enter it. Here we go. Throttle down. Okay, point out and go. Throttle up, go, go, go. There we go. Now, destination. Another 196 light years. Sign me up for that. Yes, please. May I have another? Doing this, it should not take very long at all to finish getting back to Shinrarta Desiree. We went the first half of the journey in about 3 hours from Eagle's Landing. And we got about half of our trip to go. Okay, 8 new objects. Let's park in a refuel orbit. Check our system map, and it's a lot of nothing. Has it been discovered before? Yes, it has. Okay, scoop and go. Welcome back, Dave Rave. And thank you very much for joining the stream. And everybody that's joined, thank you very much. Appreciate it. As we're heading back to Shinrarta Desiree, taking a little break from the expedition. Enigma expedition, by the way, is a very good cause. If you can give a little support to it. St. Jude's, stjudes.org. I'll have to put that in the description. That'll be it's a very good cancer research foundation for children's cancer. Dave Enigma 13 isn't asking for any financial help with the cancer he's dealing with. So, St. Jude's or Just Giving, that money is also going to St. Jude's. There's a lot of really good Elite Dangerous YouTubers that are also helping to support that and to spearhead donations, and they are 2,000 pounds, English pounds, over the target. So that is phenomenal. Anything of interest? Not really. Possibly a high metal, but that's already been discovered. Busy star system, just not a lot of interesting things going on there. Get a couple of more jumps in here, and we will be continuing on. And Dave Rave. Okay, so going back to basics, some absolute beginning basics. Tell me currently, what ship do you have? Are you still using a Sidewinder? Because that makes a big difference what ship you're currently in. Anyway, so it's gonna, as soon as I know that, I can go on from there. I may not be probably not the best person necessarily, or the most knowledgeable on starting. Okay, so you are in a Sidewinder. Alright, so it's been a long time since I've started from scratch again, but it has happened a couple of times. One of the things that you do not ever want to do is do not fly without your insurance rebuy money, ever. Because if you do, and you can't pay your insurance, your option is only to basically go back to the start and start with nothing again. And that's no fun. Okay, so what you can do with the Sidewinder, take a lot of data missions. Don't focus on cargo missions. Focus on doing data missions to get you to someplace like Altair, or even Everate. There's a couple of really good systems not too far from where you're at that you can get to with a Sidewinder, but you will have to upgrade it to get better jump range. So you'll want to focus on buying a better frameshift drive. Once you can get to one of those better systems, you can get missions that pay a lot more and also will give you better rank. And they'll have better ships that you can buy that have better outfitting. It'll grow from there. One of the other things you can do as well, and it doesn't matter what ship you have for this, is you can multi-crew with somebody and ride along with them on bounty hunting or in a combat area. Bounty hunting is probably one of the better ones because it pays really well. So you can like multi-crew on along with that, and you can either be the gunner or you can fly a ship-launched fighter. And anything that you help kill, you'll get a share of the money from that, and it also helps you get combat rank. And the more combat rank you get, the more pay you can get from that. So that's one way that you could get a little bit of a boost on your money and get you into a better ship much more quickly. So those are a couple of different options you have. Yeah, if you were playing on PC, then I could invite you into multi-crew on my ship when I get back to the bubble, and then I could help you out with that. Unfortunately, on PS4, they don't have the cross-platform into the PC realm, at least not as far as I'm aware of. Now, if you want to find out for sure, you can search, see if you can find me in game, see if you can find my name as on a friend. Search for me as to add to a friend. Just True Rex, that's all, and see if that comes up with anything. If it does, and you can find me in game, then maybe they do have that now. Last time I checked into it, though, they didn't have cross-platform to PlayStation. Alright, so now let's see. We got 62 jumps left. This was a whole lot of nothing, wasn't it? Yep, nothing interesting. And all discovered. Galaxy map, how far? Now, what is our next So it looks like the next jump we have is a neutron because it's going to put us way over here. Definitely making good time. Now our module health is down to 89%, so still not doing bad. By the way, if you're wondering why my HUD is not orange, and my dash gauges and all that, they're not orange, then it's because I went in and I modified the colors in the config files on the PC to get that color, which I know you can't do that on PlayStation. Unfortunately, you're kind of stuck with orange. Okay, so that's where our jump point is, off to the left. Let's get the star scanned. Let's see what is in this system. A bunch of very large stars that have all been scanned by someone else. Yep. So this is probably a well-traveled neutron star. Alright, so we're going to go up this way. We can't replot that next hop until we've got the charge. Okay, after I do this neutron star jump, I'll see if I can find you in game. Now, with Elite, like I said, it's a big sandbox. Just be patient. Be persistent. If someone does destroy your ship, so you have the option to play in open with everybody, or you can play in a private group, or you can play solo. Solo allows you to play with people on your friends list that you've invited to play in your private group. And solo is just that, it's only you and the NPCs. Nothing else. There we go. Okay, let's shut down the throttle so we can get it going here. Okay, now let's try to get out. There we go. Yes, I know. I'm still in the cone. Now we should have our jump. Yeah, there we go. Another 196. Let's get some distance from the ejection cone of the neutron star before we line up so we don't run back through it. And we are at 87%. A few more of these neutron stars and we'll be back in Sol before you know it. Also, Dave, when you get to a point where you have a trade ship, work your way up. If you're doing a trade, work your way up to a hauler. Then use that to start doing rare trade goods. And you can work your way on rare trade goods up to like a Type 6 or a Python. Python is an extremely good multi-role ship. By the way, it has good combat capabilities, but it is not cheap to outfit or to buy. But a Type 6, however, is, for what it does and what it can do, it's very good. You wouldn't want to use it for combat. It's only a cargo ship. If you want to go towards combat, work your way towards a vulture. So it's like go. I said either way, from a Sidewinder, you want to work your way up until you can buy basically a Cobra. That'll give you a great multi-role ship that can do cargo and it can do combat. It's good at both.
Fuel scripting complete.
The Vulture is an outright fun ship, but has horrible jump range. It's pretty good for combat if you set it up right. Fixed weapons work extremely well on it, and it is very maneuverable. You A-rate the thrusters on that, and you can orbit around somebody that you're shooting, and they'll have a real hard time keeping up.
Frameshift drive charging.
Okay, our next one is going to be a Class F star. Okay, so let me, sorry, oops, I said I was going to look up the name. Alright. Let's get to the next system here, and I will take care of that. I'll get out to the menu and take a look. Can't do that while we're jumping, because if I do, then we'll disengage and go right into the star.
Fuel scripting.
Quick peek at the system. Unexplored, unexplored, all of it unexplored. That is probably going to be high metal. That's high metal, and that's probably high metal, and that's probably ice. So let's go see what that is. And this has been discovered. That hasn't been discovered at all. Alright, before we get into that, while we're refueling, so Dave Rave 37. Searching, searching, searching. Well, it's taken a while to look, so it's trying. And I can't find you on PC. So we do not have cross-platform with PlayStation, unfortunately. Well, bummer. Well, if you ever do get a chance to get this on PC, then we'll definitely be up for multi-crewing and help you get a really good start on it. But yeah, you can, while you're in-game, you can multi-crew with other people as well. Even in open, there's a lot of people that are offering multi-crew positions. So what you do to find that, and I won't find anybody right now for multi-crew in mine, but you go to your personal menu on one, it's your number one menu or your first menu, and you can go in here where it says find crew, and you look for what you want to do. Bounty hunting would be the one to do if you want to make some money and you want to get some combat experience. Oop, and we got to slow down. So I'm way over speed. Yeah. So, but if you go in there and search for multi-crew or search for somebody that's doing bounty hunting, you're more than likely going to find somebody that has a spot opened up that's listening and waiting for a crew to join them. Again, that's a really good way to get some good experience and to get some credits built up so you can do something a little more quickly in the game. Again, you can't just ride along and not hit anything. You have to help kill the targets, or you have to at least hit the targets a couple of times before it gets destroyed. Otherwise you won't get anything for that. Okay, so we just got high metal content there, and This one also does not have first discovery, nor that one. This one's also going to be high metal. How far away is that? 1,300? Not bad. So again, you'll see with this, you'll be able to see how much this pays off once we get to a station. Let's get over here and scan this system, this star, and then or this planet, and then we're gonna boogie on to the next star. Just keep our speed about midway so we don't go flying past it. Let's see. So we've got about 47 seconds to get to that planet. Yeah, it's gonna, so we need about 30 seconds of travel to get close enough to scan it. Speed it up a little bit. Again, we want to keep it under 12 seconds for arrival time, so we don't go shooting like way past it. Well, you can go down as low as like 7 seconds, but any less than that, like you said, you hit 5 and you're going to go past it. We should be able to scan that very quickly, very soon. Oh, and the reason, if anybody wonders why I roll when I roll my ship when I'm turning or trying to realign, it's because I don't have rudder control on the HOTAS that I currently use, which for docking and things like that makes it a little more difficult, but when you're doing combat, it doesn't matter. Just in combat, you can move around quite well without rudder or any Z-axis or rudder control. Alright, so we got another high metal content world. Oop. Let's move on back to Sol. Okay, so this is going to be a Class M Red Dwarf. By the way, with a Sidewinder, it is possible to do bounty hunting, but you're not going to last very long. You're going to have a lot of rebuys. Now, one thing you can do, if you do want to get into bounty hunting with a small ship like that, you can go to the Hazreses, find out where the system authorities are at, and follow them around, and as they start shooting wanted ships, scan the ship. You know, you'll see the wanted status pop up, and you have to scan it until it's done. Till you finish the scan. Once you finish the scan, you can shoot them a couple of times, and the system authority will finish them off. And because you helped shoot them and kill them, you'll get some credit for that. You'll get the bounty for that. So you can use the system authorities to essentially help you out. Oh, let's see if this is probably hasn't been discovered. Oh, it's been first discovered. Alright, there's nothing interesting there. Alright, so as we move out of the corona, let's see if we have any more neutron stars coming up soon. Okay, so no neutron stars for at least the next 4 or 5 jumps. Well, we got 1, 2, 3, 4 right there. We got 2 jumps there that are close together. Yeah, no. Where's the... Okay, that's the next one. Is this a neutron or is this just a... No, it's a red dwarf. So why are we jumping there to go out here? Maybe that's the only fuel scoopable star we have. That range. And it's not showing us anything beyond that. Alright, so we don't have anything coming up in the next couple of jumps. So this will be jump, scan, scoop. Jump, scan, scoop. For the next couple of jumps. And you got to do a lot of this if you're going outside of the bubble. So when I get to a station where I can dock, I can show you ballpark what it'll cost for fuel scoops. I know you can get a pretty inexpensive fuel scoop for a Sidewinder. You just need like a size 1D or a size 1C. Size 2 if you can fit it. And you'll be able to do just fine with that. And then your FSD, you can just max out your FSD to whatever you can afford. Getting it up to A-rated will require a bigger power supply. So just be wary of that. Okay, system map. Few interesting things here, but everybody's already discovered them. Yep, so this is a already discovered system. A couple of high metal worlds in that list, but yeah, it's, well, let's see how far away they are. 307,000. So these ones right here are like 4,000. These are all high metal. Yeah, those are probably worth doing. But I'm more, right now, I guess I'm more concerned with getting back to the bubble. This is also going to be high metal. Possibly, well, that might actually be water, but yeah. That's quite a ways away. That's going to take a while to get there. So no, I'm going to bypass this particular one, and if it was an undiscovered, previously undiscovered, then I would. And yes, you can definitely get a Sidewinder for a fuel scoop. Or, sorry, a fuel scoop for a Sidewinder. If I can talk today, you can definitely do that. You can do... With a Sidewinder, you can max it out. If you A-rate a Sidewinder, you can get it up to about 20 light years jump range. And your rebuy on that would be about 14,000 without any engineering. If you do engineering with Horizons, it would go up to about 50,000 depending on what you do to it for your rebuy cost. Good thing is Sidewinders are fairly cheap. You can buy one once you get somewhat established. You can buy more than one Sidewinder, and you can play with different configurations without changing your existing one. But again, I would highly recommend just going for the Cobra. The Cobra is kind of the Sidewinder's big brother, and it's much, much, much more capable. Okay, not too much interesting here. And it has already been discovered. Okay, right now we're going to another red dwarf, Class M. Okay, 11 objects. Let's get our scoop set. And maybe high metal off in the distance out here. Already been discovered before, except this one hasn't. 6,000, and I guess we're not going to go after that because it's going to take a bit of time to get out to it. Alright, one of the things I should probably do is take off the Enigma logo off the stream for the moment. There we go. Because I am currently not doing the Enigma expedition. Well, I'll be going back to that tomorrow. And Tuesday we're going to be doing the meetup. But while I'm going back to Sol, I'm going to just take the Enigma expedition logo off because I'm not actually participating in that part of it right now. Yeah, the place I made it to at Eagle's Landing is kind of the stopping point until Tuesday. Then they're going to do a meetup on Tuesday, which I will be back there for. And then from there, I'll continue out to Colonia to finish off the expedition. I believe it's February 7th is when they're planning to have everybody that is part of the expedition. They're going to do like a final meetup at the Dove Enigma in Colonia. Okay, that one was a short jump, so it did not take much to fill up the ship. Anytime you get a real short jump like that, it's usually because the next fuel star is just out of reach, and it's giving you an intermittent jump. Okay, I got another M-class red dwarf. So the last one was like less than 20 light years. This one's 49, well, 48. So, yeah. It was giving us that because it probably, well, the ship doesn't have enough jump range to make it all the way to this particular star, and there probably wasn't another scoopable star between those two stars. Okay, we got our scoop running. Anything interesting? Very much not. First discovered already by somebody else. Moving on. Okay, starting to heat up a little bit. It's about the point where this particular fuel scoop can't go much hotter. Or much faster without getting way too hot.
Shift drive charging.
Alright, we're going to another red dwarf. 49.6 light years away. Well, that jump was almost at maximum jump range. You know, minus getting the cone boost.
Fuel skipping.
Anything of interest? Not really. Gas giant. Possible gas, but nothing in here that's going to be even close to habitable. That's already been discovered by other people. So onward we move.
Fuel skipping complete.
By the way, Dave, when the Chieftain does release, if you can, by the time that releases, if you can work your way up to being able to afford that, if you want an outstanding combat ship that's less expensive and going to be almost the capabilities, or it's a little less capabilities than what you can do with a Python, it'll be a really good stepping stone to work up to a Python. Now, Pythons don't have the best jump range, but they are one of the best multi-role ships because you can get a huge amount of cargo in them and they still land on medium landing pads. So you can go to outposts and orbitals, but a large ship like an Anaconda, you can't land at an outpost. They don't have large landing pads. So that's something to think about in that. That's kind of for future. But definitely a good path to work towards. And Python's kind of a love-hate relationship. Partly because they're very expensive to outfit. And they're pretty expensive to buy. But I gotta say, I've sold mine to buy an Anaconda 3 times. And every time I bought it back. I wanted it back. So I've basically, well, at this point, I have a Python. It's one of my favorite ships. Python and the Federal Corvette are my 2 favorite ships out of the whole game so far. Anaconda is probably my second, I'd say, well, I would say the Corvette's probably my favorite, the Python number 2, Anaconda 3. And the Vulture, probably Vulture or Faz after that. They're kind of tied for me. The Faz has more DPS potential because it has 2 additional size 2 slots, or hard points, and it's more hull tanky than the Vulture. But those also require rank. Federal rank. Vulture doesn't require federal rank, nor does the Viper. If you want to go combat, the Viper Mark III is one of the fastest ships you can get for combat. and they're not that expensive. Viper Mark IV is a little more tanky, not quite as fast, has a bigger power supply, bigger distributor, and slightly better shields than a Viper Mark III. It just doesn't have quite as much maneuverability and it's not as fast, but it's still a great ship. I still own a Viper Mark IV as well. And I'll have to look, I think I still have a Cobra. Possibly high metal, it's already been discovered. There's a lot in this system. Just not a lot of interest. We should be getting pretty close to another neutron star, hopefully. Let's go look at our galaxy map while our fuel tank finishes topping off. Okay, this is a regular jump.
Fuel scooping complete.
So that's regular, regular. So no neutrons along the way yet. Making progress. We are almost 2,000 light years away. Woohoo! Okay, I'll be here, Dave. Okay, on to the next.
Frameshift drive charging.
Let's get the refuel going. And let's take a look and see if there's anything interesting. Nope. And it's already been discovered by somebody else. 49 jumps left. Getting there. Let's speed up the scooping process a bit. There we go.
Fuel scooping complete.
Turn away from the star a little bit. And throttle up.
Frameshift drive charging.
Just get to low 40, charge again. Almost in reach of, well, we're definitely in reach of Sol and the bubble. We're almost back in the bubble.
Fuel scooping.
Of course, doing this from Colonia next time is going to be a little more interesting. Discovered already, and nothing of interest. At least not for what I'm looking for. Top off the tank. Okay, now going to wave from the star and do it again.
Frameshift drive charging. Fuel scooping.
Okay, let's see. Anything of interest? Nope, not really. And been discovered. That one hasn't. Far away is that one? Public Auto's way. 29,000. Yeah. We're not going after that. Now, how... Where are we at now? So that is now our maximum jump. It's the last plot. And of course we're not getting a route beyond that at the moment. Red dwarf. It's probably a red dwarf here.
Scooping complete.
Yep, that's a red dwarf. Not seeing any more neutron stars in our immediate future.
Frameshift drive charging.
And pointing as we travel away from the galactic core, stars are definitely getting a little more sparse.
Fuel scooping.
Now, anything of interest? Nope. Has it been discovered at all? Yes. Getting close to the bubble, so closer to the bubble, so a lot less things that are going to be available. Okay. I already know we got several more jumps without the neutron stars.
Fuel scooping complete.
Let's go ahead and crank them out, and then at the end, I guess we'll go a few more jumps and then check and see what our progress is on how much farther we got to go, light years wise.
Frameshift drive charging.
We should be under 2,000 now. Looks like we got a yellow star coming up. Not much going on here. Binary star with not a lot. Has been discovered? Yes. The really interesting stuff is more or less becomes or gets more popular when you're outside the bubble. And welcome back. Welcome back, Dave. Let's see, so we're a couple of jumps closer while you were gone. No more neutron stars at the moment. We were a couple of jumps at least before we find another. Gonna knock out a few more jumps and then we'll check progress and see where we're at. Going to a yellow, Class G yellow star. Alright, anything interesting? Not really. Trinary star system, though. Already been first discovered by somebody else. According to this up here. So, scoop and jump we go. Yeah, this is when you got a lot of jumps to do like this. If you're just kind of doing it solo, it's really good just throw on some music and enjoy it. Just enjoy the music while you jump through more and more systems. They'll go by much faster when you're enjoying the trip. They really do. The one thing I will say is when you're jumping, do not Alt-Tab out of your game, or well, on console you can't, but don't walk away while you're jumping to another star, because you have to throttle down when you get out of hyperspace, or you will crash into the star. Not sure if they do that on console. Where they keep the throttle up. On PC, the throttle stays up, so you have to manually throttle it down as soon as you get out of hyperspace. 12 objects. Anything of interest? No. Somebody else has already discovered it. Okay, next one is 47 light years. All right, let's see where we're at. We got 43 jumps back to Shinrarta. What does our next couple of jumps look like? Fuel there. Looks like maybe another short leg there. That's another red dwarf. So we've got at least 3 more red dwarfs ahead of us. Either way, we've got to do this like 40, what, three more times. It's not too bad.
Drive charging.
When I go back out, it's going to be probably more jumps, but faster refueling. I'll just buckyball it all the way out. Let's just go. I mean, just going out as fast as you can. So that won't take very long to get back out to Eagle's Landing. And then, of course, once I get out to Colonia, then I've got to come all the way back. So I'll probably do that maybe like a weekend marathon stream. And just go like Colonia back to the bubble as fast as possible. Definitely nothing here. Already discovered by somebody else. We did scan it, didn't we? I believe so.
Complete.
Yep, we scanned it.
Drive charging.
Okay, so what do we got coming up here? It's going to be another red dwarf. Because I think we're getting close to the point where we're not going to have as many neutron stars along the path. Okay, let's throttle down so we don't overspeed. There's a lot in the system, but nothing of interest. But it is all unexplored. So let's at least get the star scanned. Okay, throttle's at minimum, so we will not go careening too fast into it.
Fuel scripting complete.
Alright, so we've got that star cataloged and scanned. Apologize, I just tapped the mic. That locked again. We got to go around the star to get to our next jump point. So let's get away from the corona. There we go. As soon as we get down to about 40% on heat, there we go, we can go ahead and charge up again. You can safely charge around 55%, up to as high as 55%. I like to have that extra little buffer at 40 just in case. Depending on your ship and the configuration on it, you may end up coming out of hyperspace at 60 to 65% heat. And when you're going right into another star, having the lower heat when you exit hyperspace can help. Okay, let's see if there's anything here. It's all undiscovered, but let's see. Potential metal. That's all been first discovered by somebody else. Oh. Well, even just with the systems I have scanned on the way back, it's going to be a decent hand-in, decent amount of cash. Okay, 306, and we're almost maxed out on that scoop.
Fuel scoop.
There we go. Let's get away from it.
Frameshift drive charging.
40 jumps left. Woo! We have done 2/3 of our jumps. Heck, 40 jumps is like a trip from maybe Cios. Oh, sorry, not Cios. About, yeah. Well, for a Sidewinder, that would be like probably Altair out to Nguna. Yeah, you'd be looking at about 32 to 35 jumps on that trip with an A-rated jump FSD.
Fuel scooping complete.
As you upgrade ships that have better jump range, that trip goes much, much faster.
Frameshift drive charging.
Yellow star. All right. One new object. So this is a very uninteresting system. Yes, it is. And it's already been discovered. How far to our next jump? It is 46 light years. Probably 48 light years.
Fuel scooping complete.
There we go. Waiting for the heat to go down a little more. There we go.
Drive charging.
Okay, so this is going to be another Class A yellow, or a Class A white star. Giant white star? All right. Well, Dave, if you at work, then that comes first, obviously. But thank you very much for joining. So take your time, and again, good luck on your adventure in Elite. And feel free to ask more questions later if you want. And within 30 minutes, we will probably be either in Seoul or close, or in Shinrada, or very close to it. At this point, we're just going to book through the whole thing. Do a quick peek. Nothing of interest. And it's already been explored by somebody else.
Fuel scooping complete.
Okay, while we're getting cooled off, I'm going to check the galaxy map and find out what our next couple of jumps look like. There's 2 in there. Alright, so not much of interest there. Okay, so that's Mammon. 700 light years ahead. That's not too far away. And we're looking at 1700 light years total to be back in the bubble.
Frameshift drive charging.
There's going to be a couple of neutron star jumps in that, because there's no way we can do that in 40 jumps. And we have 37 jumps left. So we have to, there has to be at least a couple of neutron star jumps in that path. Yeah, Mammon was one of the first stops we made along the way out. It's kind of a service station along the Neutron Highway to Colonia. You do not have a shipyard there, but they do repair and refuel. And if you need more limpets, they can do limpet replacement. So they're kind of a little checkpoint if you need to repair back up. And they built a couple of those along the way. Yeah, I just scanned again. I don't know why, but just make sure we're done. Force a habit sometimes to scan it, just to make sure. Get our temperature down a little more. There we go. Jumping to another yellow-orange star. Now, depending on what system you jump from and to, there is a possibility, but it doesn't happen often, that you will jump into, or basically jump through a star. I've had that happen a couple of times. And it's a little terrifying the first time. Trinary star system, and it has already been discovered. So, nothing really to see here. Scoop away, scoop away, scoop away. Now we can go almost straight at our destination. Throttle up and it'll take us away from the star. %, and jump. Okay, so we're going to another Class M red dwarf. So we're going almost 100 light years every 2 jumps right now. So figure in 10 jumps, that would put us at what? 1,000, almost 1,200 light years. 2 new. Is that all we have in here? Yes. Make sure I scan the whole system. I think those would have gotten scanned anyway. Yep, nothing new. So it's just a small binary system. Nothing really here to see. There we go. There's the other star. But that's not what we're interested in. Going to another yellow-orange star. Okay, so that's going to be another fuel star. It's not doing too bad. We've gone over 1,000 light years in last hour and 20 minutes. So in the last 4 hours of flight time, I've gone over 5,000 or close to 5,000 light years. Trinary star system unexplored. All right, let's document this star while we're scooping. Scan away. Oop, almost got out of range. Got just off enough where it stopped scanning. That's what I mean. If you don't stay on your target, it'll restart. I got just a little bit off target and it restarted. Okay, let's get away from the star and let's get our next jump plotted here. It's kind of behind us now. Next jump is another yellow-orange star. I like how it shows other stars that you're passing by. And even though those may not be like the real stars you're passing by along your path, they're supposed to represent that. Anything of interest? Wow, it's a pretty colorful gas giant. This whole system is unknown. Not that it's going to be a huge payoff, but it's going to be something. And how much further do we have to go? 32 jumps. Not bad. Get away from the star and let's replot our route. Or get back on track here.
Frameshift drive charging.
Another yellow-orange star. Definitely going to like having a bigger fuel scoop. Covered 30 objects. Busy system. Was it 30 quality objects? Not really. That's an interesting color for a planet. Nothing else of interest. Fuel and go. So the next question is, when's the next neutron star?
Complete.
And how much farther do we have to go to the bubble? So we've got 31 jumps left. And that puts us, well, like I said, a main question is the, what do we have for the next jump? All right, here we go. So we're almost down to, we're under 1,500. Yeah, the rest of this will go pretty quick. Be back to the bubble before we know it. Yeah, you always want to scan the systems you jump into before you immediately jump back out. If you scan, scoop, or if you jump in, scoop, and leave, there is a chance that you're going to run into a system that nobody else has discovered ever. And some of them, like this one, has been discovered, but you know, we had the water world in high metals in one that hadn't been discovered. You never know. Always check them. The data, when you sell it back to a station, is worth a lot of money.
Fuel scoop complete.
Okay, let's go ahead and accelerate away.
Frameshift drive charging.
Class M red dwarf. Yeah, I don't expect we'll probably not going to see. Well, we'll probably see another neutron star between here and the bubble. Otherwise, we can only go, you know, close to 600 light years in the same amount of jumps we have left. A little over 600 light years, and we've got over 1,000 to go.
Fuel scooping.
19 objects. Get in, scoop, and let's inspect. Nothing of really interesting. Like these planets right here, this will be like a rocky, but maybe high metal. That might have high metal, but these are all been discovered by other people already. So you can scan them to get some cash, but it's not going to get a large amount. Depending on the amount of time it takes for you to go to those plants to scan each one will determine whether or not it's worth it for you.
Fuel scooping complete.
Okay, let's turn away from it. We are jumping to another red dwarf. Now when you start out, the Sidewinder you start out with has about 8 light year jump range, 7.8 I think it is, 7.5, 7.8, but no more than 8. Then you can get that up to a 20 light year jump range. And it doesn't cost that much to do it, but it will cost a couple of data missions to get the money to upgrade that. Or, yeah, so like I said earlier, about an hour to 2 hours, maybe tops, with somebody doing multi-crew, you'll have the money you need to upgrade it substantially. Possibly even A-rate it, or just outright buy a bigger ship that's nicer, more capable, and has better jump range. Okay, we're off to another red dwarf. A couple more of these stars, and I'll check to see if we have another neutron on the way. Jump in, scan, scoop. 19 objects. And check. See, there's some high metal worlds here. That's 1,500 light seconds away. That's not too bad. High metal, rocky body, maybe high metal. These are unexplored. Well, that one's explored. So, and that one's unexplored. So why that one and not this one? Thinking somebody missed that. Yeah, but we're not going to worry about that one right now. Well, you know, we're not going to worry about that right now. Chance I'll hit this on the way back out. Yeah, it's kind of slim, but eh. I'm going to say no for that one for the moment.
Frameshift drive charging.
We are going to another red dwarf. Be kind of funny if it ends up having me jump through Jackson's Lighthouse to get back to my home system. Because Jackson's Lighthouse is kind of out of the way from my home system. But we'll be using Jackson's Lighthouse to go back. $28 objects. Getting a little bit of framiness right now. Strange. Yeah, it's already been first discovered by somebody else, and there's nothing of interest there. Okay, while it's finishing topping off the fuel tank, I'm going to look here to see where our next couple of jumps are. So at least the next 4 jumps are red dwarfs and yellow-orange stars, or A-class white stars. Down to 26 jumps.
Frameshift drive charging.
Does not take long at all to do this trip. Not for the distance we went. So the trade-off with the neutron stars, if you're going to use the neutron stars, you can go a great up to 4 times the distance of whatever your current ship can do for your FSD config. The trade-off is it takes a little bit longer to get charged up, get in safely, and get the supercharge And let's see, the wear and tear on the FSD. Other than that, it's not a big deal. So we're down to 87% on our FSD, but that's not too bad. Not bad at all. Make sure I scanned it, which I probably did already.
Fuel scooping complete.
Our fuel scoop. Let's, anything interesting? Probably not. Nope. Not really.
Frameshift drive charging.
Another red dwarf. Now you can get a little better range if you run a little bit less fuel. It's like maybe 16 tons instead of 32. But then you're going to be in a situation where you have to, you will have to scoop every jump. Because anytime you do a maximum jump, that's going to take almost half your fuel. You got 2 jumps you can do at maximum before you run completely out of fuel. So you got to be careful with those. Anything interesting here? Probably not that big, that much. Nope. Nothing interesting. Moving on. There's our marker. There we go. Now get away from the corona. So to judge how close I need to be to fuel scoop safely, I'm doing it by temperature. And knowing, you know, what temperature my scoop is safe at. Generally, you don't want to go over 70%. If you go over 70% heat, you stand a big chance of getting overheated real fast. It'll go up exponentially faster after 70%. So the better quality scoop you can get and the better reactor you have, the better your ship will handle the heat. Okay, looks like we got another red dwarf or yellow orange star. Four objects. Quite a bit more than 4 objects. Anything of interest? Not really. Yeah, again, we're getting closer to the bubbles, so it's going to be more things have been discovered here by other players. Alright, so we're almost done scooping fuel.
Fuel scooping complete.
Dave, I've been playing Elite since, or Elite Dangerous since it came out. December 2014. I played the original Elite when it first came out. And that was okay, but that was a long time ago. Yeah, so I probably have, give or take, probably around 5,000 or 6,000 hours. Probably a little, right around 5,000 hours, probably total game time that I've been playing. So it's been a little while. I still don't know everything about the game. I'm not a pro at everything in the game, but I've done a lot in the game.
Fuel scooping.
Alright, so what do we have in here? Nothing of interest at all. That is what you call a boring solar system. No interesting rocks at all. Okay, 48 light years. I think after this jump I'm going to check again and see if we have any other neutron stars coming up. We have to have another one come up soon because we don't have enough jumps to get all the way there. All the way to Shinrarta with the current jump range in that amount of jumps.
Frameshift drive charging.
And it'd be kind of disappointing if we don't have any more along the way. But it is what it is. Whatever stars we get, we get.
Fuel skipping.
Alright, 21 jumps left. And nothing interesting here. Bunch of rocks. Okay, let's finish topping off. There we go, that should be safe. And how does our jumping route look? Okay, so at least out to here, that's all red dwarfs. Oh, we just passed Mammon. So we are very, very close. So we're looking at 1,000 light years to get back. So that's not bad at all. I can remember taking an ASP with no engineering out to Cerberus, 6,500 light years, and for that, 1,000 to 1,100 light years a day was a big deal.
Frameshift drive charging.
And this has double the range of that ASP did right now. And 1,000 light years doesn't seem like that much of a deal now. It's all relative. Of course, now today I've gone almost 8,000 light years from where I was to my home system. That's going to be what it'll be when I arrive. Very close to 8,000. All right. Nothing interesting. Nothing to see here. And turn away as we finish scooping. There we go. Get away from the star. And start charging. Another red dwarf. 20 jumps left. So just with the systems I've scanned today, I'm guessing that I'm going to make probably 2 million, maybe 3, when I hand all these in at Shinrarta.
Fuel skipping.
This exploratory data is also a very good way to get favor with factions. If you have any engineers you want to unlock that require you get allied, scan data can be used to, you can sell scan data to the controlling faction of the station that you need to get allied with to get the engineer invite.
Complete.
And takes about 2 to 2.5 million to get friendly. Close to 10 million in data, scan data, to get allied. And it is very well worth it. When I was doing trying to finish off Elite for exploration,
Frameshift drive charging.
I probably sold about 60 million in scan data to different factions to get friendly with, or to get allied with those factions. Now, that also works if you just want to get better missions from those factions as well. Even on a Sidewinder, get an advanced scanner when you can afford it, because you can put that on a Sidewinder as well. Goes into a size 1 slot, but you can put it in any size bigger than that. And again, the advanced scanner costs about 1.2 million, so it's not cheap, but it will very quickly pay for itself. Mine has paid for itself over and over. And I have them on almost every ship I fly. Except my combat ships. Some of my combat ships don't.
Fuel scooping complete.
One of the real beauties in Elite is there are 31 ships currently you can purchase. And a lot of them that don't have rank requirements. There's 6 ships currently that have rank requirements. Okay, we're going to another red dwarf. Anyway, the 6 that have rank requirements have their strengths and weaknesses, and probably the best ones, as far as rank requirements, are if you want ones that are really tanky, unlock the Federal ships first. If you want ones that are more maneuverable or faster, not necessarily more maneuverable, but faster, go for the Imperial ships, for the Imperial rank. I did Imperial rank first, and the only ship I own right now that requires Imperial rank is the Cutter. And I don't fly that very often. And I know some people that prefer that as their usual ship, because it's very, very tanky. You can make it a really serious shield tank, but it is about $1 billion to set it up correctly for combat.
Fuel scooping.
It's fast. You can mass lock anybody. You cannot get mass locked by anything, but you don't have as much maneuverability as something like a Corvette or or it's better than maneuverability-wise, it's better than an Anaconda, but it's not as maneuverable as a Corvette. But again, those are all 3 big ships, so they're pretty expensive. So that's later game for most people if you don't have it already. Take your time getting into a big ship. Learn to fly every ship you get. If you don't, you're going to make a lot of mistakes, and it will be very, very costly. And once you do get to a bigger ship, take the time to learn that one too. In Super Cruise, they don't handle very differently.
Fuel scooping.
But in normal space, big ships handle much different than small ships. And when you're trying to get into stations and dock and things like that, it will make a huge difference. Okay, nothing to see here, I guess. If you want to use a docking computer, use a docking computer. Don't worry about if anybody, don't let anybody talk bad to you about it if you prefer it. Sometimes I use a docking computer because I have occasionally get visual problems that make it hard to read the screen. And when that happens, I can't read the numbers on the landing pads. So, or I can see the numbers on the landing pad. I can't see the number where it tells me what landing pad I have to go to. I can't read that. And so for me, the auto dock just ensures that I'll be landing the right place, and the station's not going to blow me up because I landed on the wrong pad. And they will. Also, another advantage of the docking computer, you can relax or Alt-Tab out of the game for a moment and do something else if you're on PC, or just kind of take your hands off the controls for a few minutes, let the computer drive for a little bit, and you don't have to worry about it. You can do something else, get up, go for a bio break, or go get a drink. You don't have to worry about it. I would just make sure you're inside the station before you leave the computer. Pardon me. Because if somebody attacks your ship, it will stop docking. And if you do anything illegal, do not use autodock. You will get scanned. And as soon as they scan you, they will deny you access to the station, and your ship will just stop, and the station will start shooting at you wherever you're at. I've had that happen when I was just inside the airlock. Whoops. We are going to another red dwarf. 15 jumps away, not bad. Making good time. By the way, anybody that's just, if you're just starting on Elite, don't worry too much. Don't get hung up on trying to make the rank of Elite right away. Explore the game. Try all the different methods of playing the game, all the different specialties, and find the one that you enjoy the most. After you do that, then use that to get your rank and to improve your standing, and the rank will come. You'll get the rank, you'll get the Pilot Federation rank as you play and enjoy what you find enjoyable about the game. And it'll happen, first it'll feel like it takes forever. And then one day you'll look at your rank, your Federation rank, and you'll be like 1 or 2 ranks away. That's when you'll get excited about, all right. Okay, anyway, you have a great evening, Dave. And thanks again for joining. And we will definitely talk on a later time. Alright, anybody else that's watching, please like, share, favorite, follow, subscribe. And appreciate it. It helps the channel out a lot. Especially with the changes that are coming soon, or coming to both Twitch and YouTube. It is changing a lot. Alright, anything exciting here? Probably not. Not really. Binary pair. Binary pair with a binary pair with a trinary star and a gas giant. Or no, that's a... That looks like another star. Probably a brown dwarf. Or it's another red dwarf that has a purple hue to it. Okay, let's check one more time. Got 13 jumps out. Let's see if this is just regular 13 jumps. Maybe. What's this one? That's another fuel star. Zoom in on that one. What do we have afterwards? It looks like we might just be on regular jumps, standard stars most of the way in. Yeah, pretty much. But hey, that's not bad. A couple hours of jumping and flying, and we made it. We're gonna finish off almost 8,000. Actually, well, probably closer to 7,000 light years of travel in just a couple hours, like 5 hours. Not too bad. Okay, got our scan done. We've got our scoop, our fuel scooping. That's probably a rocky body, but that's already been scanned. Yeah, most of the stuff here has already been scanned because we're getting really close to the bubble. Technically, we're probably in the bubble, or we will be very, very shortly.
Fuel scooping complete. Frameshift drive charging.
Did that a little higher than normal, a little hotter temperature than normal. The ship has a pretty good tolerance for the heat. And we got another, looks like red dwarf or yellow, maybe a yellow-orange star. Getting a little bit of framiness right now. Alright, what do we got in system? Nothing of interest. 11 jumps left. So close. So close. We're almost home.
Fuel scooping complete. Frameshift drive charging.
Now, got another Class M red dwarf. Probably going to see these the rest of the way in. Most likely. So we should be right around probably 400 or 500 light years. From Shinar to Desiree.
Fuel scooping.
Which means we're going to start seeing ships, NPCs popping in. Okay, nothing of interest there. No NPCs yet. Probably because there's nothing really in this system. Alright, let's top off and boogie on to the next.
Frameshift drive charging.
So my next ship I'm probably able to reconfigure. I want to do. I'm going to try to shoot for around 45 light years with much better handling and better thrusters than what I currently have on it. I went down 2 sizes of thrusters to build this. I want to change this up. And not having the results I want. This was all discovered. Okay, what do we got here? Let's see what's going on and make sure the stream health looks good. It looks good so far.
Fuel scooping complete.
There we go, done scooping. Get away from the star and jump again.
Drive charging.
Now we're starting to get into system names that I more recognize. Okay, so we're down to what, 7? Should be about 7 jumps out now. Oh, so close. 8 jumps. So we are almost there. Now on the way back out, I'm definitely going to use Jackson's Lighthouse to get a jump start, and just neutron star it all the way back out, as far as many as we can.
Frameshift drive charging. Fuel scooping.
Okay, almost ready there. Now we're done. Accelerate, get away from the star. There we go, and now just wait a few more seconds. Now,
Drive charging.
another red dwarf. And 7 jumps left.
Fuel scooping.
So one new object. In other words, nothing to see here. Yeah, we're going to start heating up if I go too much closer. And I'm almost full, so let's nose away. There we go. Yeah, the only thing here is the star.
Frameshift drive charging.
That is how you scoop and go. If you're going from point A to point B, that's how you do it. Only use a bigger scoop if you can. You can afford it or fit it. The beauty of Elite is you can put a fuel scoop in every ship.
Fuel scooping.
Every ship can do a fuel scoop. And if you don't want to do fuel scoop, you can put in an additional fuel tank. And then fill it up only when you want to use it. Of course, anytime you go and do a refill, it'll automatically fill that for you. Okay, system map, anything interesting? There's a lot here, but nothing of any serious interest.
Fuel scooping complete.
Okay, down to 40 and
Frameshift
go.
drive charging. Fuel scooping.
Yeah, there's a few things in this system. Not much, but a few. Let's check that out. Not a lot. Certainly no new discoveries. There's probably metal. Maybe metal, rocky ice. Does not warrant checking out at this point. Now we're getting into some of the more named systems. We are definitely back in the bubble.
Fuel scooping complete.
Okay, let's get away from there a little bit, from the star. Let's get some of the heat down a little bit and go.
Frameshift drive charging.
we are almost back to Shinrarta. And it's going to be expensive. Very expensive. Yeah, we're almost there. Scan this system just because we haven't been here before.
View scooping.
Let's check and see what wonders beholdeth. Well, there's 2 stations. So there's a population here. But it's not where we're going. However, we do have contacts, so we need to be careful. Because pirates will give us a hard time, even though we don't have any cargo. Nice thing is, if you fuel scoop close enough to the Corona, they usually crash into the sun trying to go around you to get behind you to scan. But the NPCs, they pretty much leave you alone if you don't have any cargo. And I have none, so they have no reason to pull me over to come after me for anything. But that doesn't stop them from interdicting and scanning and silly things like that. Okay, let's see. I believe when I started out, I had to go from Shinrarta. I had to jump 4 or 5 times. I think it was 5 times to get to Jackson's Lighthouse.
View scooping.
Okay, so this is a system that I obviously scanned before. Oh yeah, I've been here before. We are back in the bubble. Doing the elite dangerous things. Let's see.
Complete.
So they gives us what, 3 jumps left or 2 jumps left? 2. Ah, so
Frameshift drive charging.
this will be our second to our last jump. At least for this part. Yeah. We are definitely in well-known systems now. I still scan them out of habit. Because eventually I'm going to run into one that even though I haven't been there, I haven't scanned it. Like this one. 20 objects. And it's occupied space. Ah, yeah, there's even stations there. It's definitely occupied space. And our very next hop should be Shinrarta Desiree. Then we will build an appropriate exploration anaconda. And Sinistar will go back to a combat configuration. Which I'm going to do the combat configuration first, because the first thing I'm going to do is add all the guns back on it. Because they're filling up all the space I need to put everything else in. So this is getting the original thrusters back, it's getting the power supply back. Power supply that's in this, I believe, has a light... I think it's a slight overcharge on it. I'll have to look at it. I'll look at it once we land. But essentially, the outfitting on this is going to completely change. And it is going back to a less than stellar jump range, but with pretty nice combat capabilities. And of course the rebuy is going to go from about 8 million up to about 24 million. And we have arrived in Shamar Desert. The music is welcoming us, I guess. Alright, Jameson Memorial. Jameson Memorial, where are you? It's got to be up here further. There it is. That is home. And the reason why it's my home is because, well, when you hit Elite, you get access to it, and you get invited to come here. And you can buy any module and any ship that the game sells at this system, in this particular station. Everything they sell, everything available in the game, you can get right here. So it's not a bad place to base your ships. There isn't anything here to do, and the missions here are kind of limited. But it's not bad to, you can get data missions. Data delivery missions, and there are also some like go hunt down the pirates type missions you can get here, but they don't give a lot of missions here. So if you want a system that's much more active, you want to go to like Eravate or maybe V88 Centauri or V886 Centauri, which is about 18 light years away from Shenrarta. That's a great system, and that's where I like to go to do bounty hunting, because it's not very far away, and there's a couple of ring planets that have Hazreses. And that's where we will be going bounty hunting later tonight. I think what we're going to do is I'm going to dock, then once I dock, I'm going to go ahead and put the Anaconda back in its combat configuration. I'll sell all my data as it is. Then I'll do the combat configuration change, get this back to its previous config. I'll figure out what I want to do for another one. I'll start building another. It's gonna be another Anaconda, because the jump range is probably the best at all the big ships. In fact, it's one of the best of all the ships in the game. Diamondback Explorer is a very close second. Let's turn on some lights in my house. It's getting dark. And we're coming in for landing. Well, almost safe disengage. So my ship nose isn't drifting down. The station is actually orbiting. And here we are. As you can see, I have no boost capabilities. And that's one of the things I want to change with a better configuration. I want to get the boost ability back, and I want better thrusters so I can handle higher G planets. Because the undersized thrusters I have on here, although they work, They do not work well. Maximum speed is 136. Maybe 138 with a tailwind. In space, that doesn't matter. Alright, let's go to contacts and dock. I know. Thank you very much. Got it handled. Now, yes, thank you very much. And now don't gripe about the speed with the automated docking, and don't give me a ticket because it's going faster than 100. Because I've had the air traffic controllers of each of these stations do gripe about it. They'll say, things like, watch the speed, Commander, and it's on auto docking. If I'm auto docking, I'm not driving it. The station is. That's the point of the auto docking computer. Yet sometimes they still complain. And you do have to be careful with some stations. They started giving fines now for speeding out of the airlock. So depending on what station you're in, you might get a fine for boosting out of the airlock. Be polite in the stations until you get away from the station. Once you get out of the flight control, get it out of the no-fire zone, you can fly however you want. But try to be a little polite while you're in the station. That'll save you money. Alright, so top off the fuel tank. Okay, so that trip, the Neutron Highway, cost us 19,758 credits in repair costs. And if we go down to advanced maintenance, our ship integrity is down 10%. Let's get that repaired. Let's touch up the paint. It's only 10 credits. I got to make sure that I have nothing in my inventory, which I should not. Nope, no inventory, because I'm going to get rid of everything in here. Now, selling the data. Let's see what I've got for Universal. Okay, so I've got 2.7 million on this page. So let's go ahead and sell this. My reputation has gotten higher. Got some first discoveries. Like I said, these bonuses, even though they're not big, some of them are pretty nice. Like there's one up there for what, 52,000? I'll take that. Okay, page 2, 1.2 million. And do we got any first discoveries on this? Yes, we do. A couple more, just small handfuls. See, these aren't very big, but these are first discovery bonuses, which they do start to add up. And we got 300,000 on this page. So, about almost 3 million, and done a little more than 3 million, including the bonuses. And there's a few more. I said not big bonuses, but they're bonuses. And they're first discoveries. And that's all we got. So we went from 181 to 185. Right, no, sorry, 161 to 165. Sorry. Vision's a little on the somewhat unreliable side for the moment. All right, so let's exit out of there. And let's go back to outfitting, and let's make this the ship that it used to be. And unfortunately, while you're loading into the hangar, for outfitting, you can't access anything else. Alright, that's the beast right there. Let's start off with hardpoints. Actually, Let's start off with the core internals. So let's swap out the power supply for the one that it's supposed to have. Got it. This 8A right here. Yeah. That's the one I want. See, even this one, that's overcharged, but so is this. This one has, yeah, 40.2 megawatts. This one only has 25.5. Well, transfer this. Okay, now thrusters. 60 thrusters, don't cut it for a combat ship. Let's get the thrusters on here that belong here. There we go, 7A. Yeah, modified, dirty drive. And oh boy, this ship handles nice with dirty drives. Alright, frame shift drive. Gonna have to get rid of this frame shift drive because the one that I really want... Yeah, I don't have another size 6. So I'm going to have to buy another size 6, and then I'll just have to take it to an engineer at a later date. So let's store this. And let's go ahead and buy another one. Now this is going to take our jump range down to about 26, and that's prior to doing anything else with it, and it's going to cost us 14 million credits. Right off the top, let's exchange because it's going to be getting rid of the 6E that's currently in it. Now I could have gone through and left the other one in there first and then swapped it, but I'm always kind of concerned that I might screw that up and end up selling it. All right, life support, let's take that back to a 5A. I like to have that extra time. Yeah, we're just going to exchange it. And this distributor, we're going to transfer the 8A that we have that's engineered. And this will get it back up to snuff for being able to run the weapons. The sensors, doesn't really matter. I don't think I have anything in store for that anyway. No, I don't. So the sensors I'm going to just leave how they are for the moment. Okay, the hull. Let's transfer. Let's put the bulkheads back in it. Military composite bulkheads. And these are engineered for heavy-duty armor, which makes it a little heavier, but we still get 20 light years jump range without any engineering on the FSD, so not too bad. Okay, that's all of our internal components. It's restored as much as we're going to restore. Now let's go to optional. I'm going to leave the bay in here. The generator, let's ditch that shield generator. Actually, we're gonna store that. We're gonna transfer the one that belongs in here. 7A prismatics, yes. That's the one I want for this. Oh, you know what? I might be able to get away with putting a 6 in here. And put the 7... You know, let's do that. I'm going to put a 6 in here, because I have a 6A prismatic in storage. I don't remember if that was off of its resistance. It's grade 5 thermal resist. I don't remember if this was off my Python or not. All right, you know what? I'll go back to that in a moment. All right, AFMU, fighter, dual SRVs we do not need. Let's store that. Cargo. Yeah, repair limpet. Not sure on that one yet. Let's transfer. Let's put the whole or the module reinforcement back in here. Let's see. The hull reinforcement I have is modified, so put the hull in this hull reinforcement in the military grade, military slot, and then we'll go to the size 5 that's empty, and we'll put the hull reinforcement in here. Okay, so this will be the hull reinforcement that's been heavy-duty reinforced. And we're making this ship a lot heavier. And to get better range out of it, I'm going to have to go and engineer the FSD for it. Let's see, so let's do the shield cell bank in this. Let's see, actually let's move this. I want to swap that up to the size 6. Because I'm going to put another size 5 hull reinforcement in here. And that brings my armor and integrity up to, my integrity up to 3,200. Shields currently are at 711, but that's without any boosters put back on it. And there's plenty of power left. Alright, AFMU, shield cell bank. Now, hard points. We have a lot of hard points with nothing in them. Oops, I don't want to browse, I want to transfer. So I have weapons that I've modified for that I really, really like on this ship. There we go, transfer. This is a gimbaled and modified multi-cannon. Wait, this one, is that modified? No, this one is not modified yet. Okay, that's right. That's one I haven't engineered yet. Okay, lower belly. I have, let's see, corrosive shell or thermal. Let's do thermal shock. That's a 2F. I'll try to have the phase sequence on these. Ooh. And I got thermal shock for that one. Okay, that's a burst. That's too much power. Too much heat. Alright, so let's do a phasing sequence. That'll be the belly. Then in the top, I'll do a corrosive, and I'll do a thermal shock. Okay, the thermal shock and the phase ray, those will help take the shields down, and also the phase sequence will do a little bit of damage to the hull while the shields are still up. Alright, so let's see. What other weapons do I have here? Okay, beam laser, beam laser. These are gimbaled. Gimbaled, don't need that really. Because I've got size 2 beam lasers on here already. Where was the other one? Okay, so the size 3 burst laser, oh that's right, that's the only other one I have at the moment. That's also rated for efficient. So that'll fit within our power requirements anyway. Let's go ahead and do that because that'll help strip shields much faster. Burst lasers do nasty, nasty shield damage. And the size 1s, we got turreted beam lasers. This is more or less just for like doing multi-crew. And, you know, for ships that like to try to keep flying up out of the arc of the gimbal weapons. Or try to outturn you. There's a much greater arc on these little babies. And there's size 2, like I said, the beam lasers I have size 2 on the sides also provide a very nice arc, and these are also turreted. So for multi-crew, there's 4 lasers to use. These are all gimbaled. These also have regen sequence, so if you're flying with a wing. And that, I believe, only leaves utility mounts. Okay, so for utility mounts, I've got to put all my stuff back on here. Heavy duty. Let's do, yeah, heavy duty. Transfer. We want to do augmented. Okay, this is resistance augmented. It's fine. You can see the power requirements going up greatly right now on the ship. Okay, this is thermal resist, so this will help with make the shields a lot tougher. There's another heavy duty. I'm trying to make sure that we've got a good amount of balance in the rest of them. Okay, so we'll do this. This one's going to be augmented. Okay, and we've got, let's see, let's transfer. So I've almost got these filled up as much as I can. Thermal. Let's see. Yeah, let's go with this because that adds a significant amount of thermal resistance. We've almost maxed out our power. This Anaconda has a huge amount of utility slots. And it really is kind of nice. See, now we're going above our power requirements. And we can't get any more power out of it without seriously upgrading and weakening our power supply, our power plant. Oh, that's right, because these 2 slots, they are not going to be using, they use, let's see, I need to browse because I sold those. Chaff. I'm going to do 1 chaff launcher. And we're going to do a point defense. And that's to shoot down rockets and missiles and things of that nature that NPCs like to shoot at me. Alright, so we got 2 heatsink launchers, we got chaff and defense, and we've got all our shield boosters, and we are just under our power requirements with a bunch of nasty weapons. And I'm going to leave the livery the same because I like that. I want this ship to stay. The Sinistar is going to stay the Blackout, or they call it Black Friday. I'm just going to leave it that way. Okay, so I do believe this ship is. Heck yeah, I know. Fire groups, fire groups, fire groups. The ship should be ready more or less to go again. You know, fire groups, we've got all kinds of changes on fire groups. So I want, whoops, let's do pulse lasers and burst lasers on 2, all of the beams on 1, These are turreted anyway, so they'll start firing as soon as I pull the trigger. You know what? I'm going to put these on 1 as well. So the lasers are on 1. The multi-cannon's going to be on 2. Because the multi-cannon doesn't make sense to even use it until the shields go down. Because kinetic damage does so much less. And I'm going to have to engineer that for corrosive to really make the best out of it. So this ship is definitely heavy on laser. But it does do a pretty good job. Plus I have the dual fighter bays. That's right, I took the landing SRV out of it. Alright, so we have 150 million left. Okay, so let's go to shipyard. And I do want to check on the Python to see how it's set up and what it has for shields currently. I thought I put... Let's go ahead and use that. Load that ship up. I thought I put a size 7 shield in this. Yep. Reputation change, thank you. Reputation change, thank you. Alright, let's go ahead and go to outfitting. And let's see what this has in it. We want to go to optional internals. Because nothing else in this ship is going to change. Oh, I already have a 6A. Okay, I got a 6A in here that's already been grade 5 thermaled. And I got a 6A shield cell bank, so that one stays as is. Because that's as high as you can take it anyway, is a size 6. So the size 7 definitely works for that. Now the size 7 prismatic, and my game just crashed. Well, that's not good. Well, no point in sending them another report. Let's try loading it up again. Thank you, FDev, for whatever patch you pushed lately that is making this unstable. All right. Let's try this again. Go back to my own private group. Well, at least it had me back in my Python. Alright, let's try that again. Okay, so the Python I'm going to leave as is for now. Because it's got everything where I want it at. The other one I was thinking about was the size 7. Was either going to be for the cutter or it was going to be for the Corvette. Where's the Corvette? There it is. The last ship. Because I believe on that one I've got a biweave on that. Should be a size 7 biweave. Yeah, so far I've got just over 500 million credits into this ship. Definitely an ouch factor to building the big ships. And the Anaconda currently is about 480 million, give or take a mil. With the way I set up Sinistar back up. Okay, now what do we got here? Let's go look at optionals. I got a 7C biweave, and I got 40 megawatts, because I have not engineered this particular ship. Not the power, I didn't engineer the power plant for overcharge on this. So I don't have a lot of extra to play with on that. However, let's take a look at what we can, how it's going to affect it. Okay, so if we do 6A prismatics, it'll be less. That actually gives it less shields than what it currently has. Currently it's 883 with basically fast recharge. Alright, so that's pretty much going to have to stay as is, because this will give better thermal resistance and better maximum strength. But it's still overall less shield strength because of the way this one's engineered. Because the thermal resist adds quite a bit on this one. Grade 5 thermal on a biweave. And this also has a much faster recharge on it. Much faster recharge. The size 7 prismatic with the same settings I have, or the same, basically the same strength I have, thermal resist I have on this with the same I'm using for the boosters on this ship, would take it about 30 minutes to fully recharge from broken to completely charged up. About 30 minutes if I use a size 7 prismatic. And using the size 6 prismatic, it's going to be, about 25 minutes. It's with the size 7C biweave, it's about 3.5 minutes. So a significantly less amount of time that the shields are down. If they're not broken, it regens really fast. Okay, so we're not going to touch anything there. Got my fighters, got a 6C fuel scoop on it, which is kind of nice. I could actually upgrade that if I want to. You know what? Let's see what the options are. Let's say I don't think I have anything better. No, I do not. I only have a smaller one. Okay. So let's go to browse the shop. Go to fuel scoops. Alright, so we want 6A is the largest we can fit. 25 million. Ouch. But, oh boy, it really, 40% faster scoop rate. Alright, so we're going to not use it on this particular ship. Let's see, and if we go to a 4, like a 4A is what I'm currently running on the Anaconda. That's 45% less than the 6C for the scoop rate. So even a 6C would be a substantial increase. Yeah. But a 6A is almost double. Double what a 4, it's almost double what a 4A can do. 34 up to 88. 0.88 tons from 0.34 tons per second. That's a pretty substantial amount. That's almost a ton a second. But you pay for that with a $25 million price, or million credit price tag. Now if we exchange it, how much is a 6C? 6C is 1.5 million. Yeah, so there's a pretty big deficit there between the two. 6B is 75. Nice thing is it doesn't get any heavier. So this one's 6 mil, and it'll be almost double what the 4A gets. So that might be the way I go for the Anaconda for now. Alright, so we're going to leave that as is. Because so far, aside from the weapons loadout on it, which I'm still working on engineering, I'm pretty happy with it. It's just nasty and fun. So, we're going to leave that as is. Now, shipyard again. See if we can do this without it crashing. The one ship I'm really seriously considering getting rid of is the cutter. At least for now. Let's go ahead and switch to the ship. Okay, so now let's go to our outfitting. It's a nice looking ship, but I'm not real fond of the way it flies or handles. Although I do like the top speed it has. And it looks really sleek. I'm just not, I don't know, I don't enjoy flying it as much as I do the Corvette or the Anaconda. And right now I don't even have it fully loaded out. So do I probably have enough space now to put all of these in storage. These multi-cannons were originally on the Anaconda, and I'll probably put a couple of them back on it. But at this point, I think I'm going to go ahead and I'll probably sell the cutter, because I just don't really use it. I mean, like, ever. Size 4A modified multi-cannon. Can definitely find a use for that. Like, on the Anaconda? On the Combat Conda, on Sinistar. Okay, utility mounts. Yeah, I got a couple things on here, mostly point defense, like the shield boosters, yes. So you know what, I'm going to go ahead and store this. And only the modified things I'm worried about storing. Okay, heatsink launcher, point defense. Now let's go ahead and sell that. And sell one. Yeah, selling this is slightly increasing my jump range. That I'm not worried about right now. We'll sell that one. And I got some heatsink launchers up here that have not been modified. I'll sell as well. Not really losing anything on the modules, but you do lose on the modules if you sell them with the ship. And I'm probably going to lose about 10% on the cost of the ship, which for a 200 million credit ship, that's 20 million credits. But for something I never use, like I said, I never use it. And I put a lot of money into getting it more or less up to par. Modified the sensors. I believe I did this for lightweight, or is it better range? Modifications. Okay, so that was for lower mass. Yeah. That was for less mass, lightweight. Which that could be possibly handy on the Python. Let's store that. I gotta put 70 sensors back onto it anyway. 7A power distributor, and this is modified. Oh, and I don't have any more room to store that. Let's see if I have a distributor that I can put in. I'm saying I can store it. Probably going to be running out of storage space real soon, though. Okay, so that saves the modified. Let's see. Let's downgrade this. That was 6 million credits to downgrade that one. Frameshift drive, we want to store this because it is modified. And it might be a little better than what I have on the Corvette. 6A thrusters, again modified, or these are 8A thrusters, modified. Let's store those. Uh, 8C power plant. This is grade 1 overcharged. 33 megawatts. Yeah, let's go ahead and get rid of that because I don't really need that. So let's browse the shop. And let's put an 8E in it. Because that's the minimum it'll require, and we will exchange. Don't like to get rid of modules that have been modified, but that one I didn't need. It's not as good as what I have, and for the purpose it was for. Optionals, what do I have in here? Okay, the 5D fighter bay. Let's definitely store that. 5A fuel scoop, unmodified. That would be better than what I've got. You know what, I'm going to go ahead and sell that, and we'll revisit that when I get there. Advanced Discovery, don't need that on there because I'm getting rid of the ship. And docking computer doesn't have to be there if I'm not flying it. I said if I enjoyed flying it, I'd keep it. So not really, like I said, it's a matter of, there's 31 ships in the game. Not every ship is for everybody. And that money will be better, much better suited on a ship that I want to build that I will definitely use more often. Module reinforcement, let's sell that. None of these are modified, so I'm not worried about that. Planetary approach suite stays. My hull reinforcements, if they are not modified, then I just sell them. If they're engineered, then I keep them. That's a 6A shield cell bank with no modifications currently. Goodbye. Let's see, an 8E cargo rack. Nah, let's sell that. because I don't need that right now. And the 8C bi-weave shields, which have not been engineered yet. Yeah. There, now I think it's pretty well stripped. Utility mounts done. Hard points done. Core internals are minimums. Yep, they should all be at E ratings. Yeah. All right, so let's go ahead and back to the shipyard, and let's switch to a ship we want to use. In fact, let's go ahead and get another Anaconda. Let's see. And this is going to be a definite explorer. So we exchange the ship that gives us back 32 million credits. Of course, we're losing some money on the exchange of the ship, but it's going to be worth it. And why am I buffering on my stream? Is it buffering on both? Apparently right now we're having some buffering. Interesting. Well, hopefully, let's see. Are we dropping frames? We're dropping frames right now. Yes, we are. There is a chance that my ISP is just getting boggy, or a huge amount of network traffic, or something else is downloading in the background that I'm not aware of. All right, so we are going to purchase, because right now we got 212 million, and I don't want to go down to bare minimums. And like I said, I don't use this ship, so I am definitely selling this ship, and I'm going to buy the Anaconda. So currently we're in the cutter. So goodbye, cutter. And if I get froggy and decide I ever want another one, I'll go grind a bunch of money out and go get another one. But for now, this ship will serve my purposes much, much better. Now, let's build it. Has our streaming improved? Okay, so our stream quality is apparently much better now. Whatever it was that was causing a problem is hopefully gone away. OBS seems to be happy. So maybe it was just a problem with bandwidth. Alright, so we're going to do this build, and then after we do this build... You know what? Been going for 3 hours. You know what? I'm going to do this build after... Yeah, we'll do that build after dinner. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to call the stream. We are at 3 hours. And I will do this again later tonight. Probably, yeah, in fact, I will go ahead and stream this later tonight because I have another person that I'm going to be going out and doing some combat with on multi-crew. And we'll take you along for that in probably the Corvette. Because that'll be a lot of fun. So you have a great time, and we'll catch you on the flip side. So keep it shiny, fly safe, and all that jazz. We'll see you in the next one.